In the shadow of World War II's global chaos, a powerful but often forgotten force rose from the heart of Africa. Between 1 and 2 million Africans answered the call: soldiers, engineers, medics, and laborers, fighting not for empire, but for hope, freedom, and survival. From the Sahara to the jungles of Burma, African soldiers stood shoulder to shoulder with Allied troops, challenging Axis armies in some of the war's toughest battles. They fought under British, French, Belgian, and American command, helping to turn the tide of war in places most history books rarely mention. In North Africa, they faced Rommel's feared Afrika Korps at El Alamein, Tunisia, and Libya. In East Africa, they fought the Italians in Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somalia, helping restore Emperor Haile Selassie's throne. And thousands journeyed east to fight the Japanese in the steaming jungles of Burma, building roads, hauling supplies, and fighting hand to hand. From West Africa came the 81st and 82nd West African Divisions, men from Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and the Gambia. They joined the British 14th Army in Burma, the so-called Forgotten Army, and proved themselves anything but forgotten. They hacked through jungle paths, built bridges under fire, and fought fiercely against the Japanese. Notable West African soldiers include Major Seth Anthony from Ghana. He was the first African commissioned officer in the British Army during the war. He served from 1939 to 1946, with the West African Forces. In 1945, Anthony was awarded an MBE, a British honour awarded for achievement, for his bravery during the difficult Burma campaign. Isaac Fadaibo, Nigeria. In 1942, Isaac voluntarily joined the British Army at the age of 16, an act which he characterised in his writings as youthful exuberance. He was selected for the Royal West African Frontier Force, RUAF, and trained as a hospital attendant and sent to Burma the next year. In February 1944, Isaac and David Kagbo survived a Japanese ambush in Burma's Caladan Valley and hid in the jungle for 10 months. Burmese villagers sheltered them until British Gurkhas rescued and hospitalized them in December 1944. Encouraged by historian Michael Crowder, he recorded his World War II experiences in the 1980s and finally published them in 1989, the war's 50th anniversary. Private Ebo Jana, Gambia. He was part of the 1 Gambia Regiment, which was a unit of the Royal West African Frontier Force. The 1 Gambia Regiment fought with distinction against the Japanese in the Burma Campaign, 1943 to 1945. Ebo Jana became one of the last surviving Gambian veterans of the Burma Campaign and was recognized later in life for his service. Over 4,000 Gambians were conscripted to serve in the war, with 288 killed in action. John Henry Smythe, Sierra Leone. Smythe was one of the few West Africans to serve in the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. He flew bombers in raids over Germany, was shot down, and spent 18 months as a prisoner of war. After World War II, Smythe aided African and Caribbean RAF veterans and oversaw the Empire Windrush voyage, helping shape the Windrush generation and earning an MBE in 1951. Encouraged by a judge after defending soldiers facing courts-martial, Smythe became a barrister, later serving as Sierra Leone's Attorney General and a Queen's Counsel. He met President Kennedy during an official visit and met the pilot who shot him down during World War II, who had then become a German ambassador. Smythe's remarkable life and World War II legacy was celebrated in the 2022 docudrama Flying for Britain, narrated by his son, Eddie Smythe. In East Africa, the King's African Rifles drew men from Kenya, Uganda, Tanganyika, now Tanzania and Nyasaland, modern-day Malawi. They fought to free Ethiopia from Mussolini's occupation, helping bring Emperor Haile Selassie home in 1941. Soldiers like Yagama Kello joined the Ethiopian Patriots at the age of 15 to fight as a guerrilla leader against the invading Italian forces before the British arrived. He later became a colonel/general. Sergeant Nikanori Oming, Uganda. He served in the King's African Rifles, KAR, during the Burma campaign. He is described as an unforgettable World War II hero in a biographical account and was one of the many Ugandan soldiers who fought on the front lines against the Japanese. Lieutenant General David Musuguri, Tanganyika, modern-day Tanzania. He served in the KAR from 1942 during the war and later became a foundational and senior figure in the Tanzanian People's Defense Force, TPDF, retiring as a lieutenant general. His career exemplifies the post-war leadership that emerged from the East African colonial forces. Maximos Kechilo, Malawi. He was born in 1921 in Shirad Zulu district, then the Nyasaland Protectorate, now Malawi. He volunteered for the King's African Rifles, 2nd Nyasaland Battalion, and later served in Burma as part of the 21st Brigade, 11th East African Division during World War II. Maximus was wounded in action in Burma. He was shot in the mouth and the bullet came outside to the left of his neck, damaging 2 teeth. His story appears in the 2021-22 annual report of the Royal Commonwealth Ex-Services League, which includes his biography. French West and North Africa, the Tirailleurs Sénégalais. From the French colonies came the Tirailleurs Sénégalais, men from Senegal, Mali, Chad, and beyond. They fought not only for France, but for dignity, in Italy, in France itself, and across Europe's battlefields. Félix Éboué. A crucial political figure, born in French Guiana, he was the governor of Chad and was instrumental in rallying the colony to the Free French forces. This defection was a vital turning point, providing the Free French with manpower and a territorial base. Léopold Sédar Senghor. Born in Senegal, he was a decorated Second World War veteran, a former prisoner of war, a poet, and a key intellectual of the Negritude movement. He went on to become the first president of independent Senegal from 1960 to 1980. His military service and experience were central to his later political and cultural identity. Dominique Koscielny, one of the rare African soldiers specifically noted for receiving the Cross of Liberation, Croix de la Libération, from General de Gaulle on July 14, 1941, in Brazzaville. The Cross of Liberation is the second highest French Order of Merit after the Légion d'honneur. The Chad Column, La Colonne Leclerc. While not an individual, this force, commanded by Colonel Philippe Leclerc de Hautecluc and composed overwhelmingly of African troops, mostly from Chad, executed the legendary raid from Chad across the Sahara to seize Italian forts in the Fezzan region of Libya, 1941 to 1942, securing a major victory for the Free French. Ethiopia, the land that never gave up. Ethiopia stood proud and defiant. When Italy invaded in 1935, Ethiopian patriots, the Arbegnok, launched a relentless guerrilla war. They tied down Italian divisions, sabotaged convoys, and kept the flame of freedom alive. Led by Emperor Haile Selassie and commanders like Rasimru Haile Selassie, they helped restore their nation's sovereignty and inspired independence movements across Africa. North Africa, the Desert Front. In the deserts of Egypt and Libya, local soldiers and resistance fighters played vital roles. In Libya, fighters inspired by Omar al-Mukhtar's legacy aided the Allies against Axis forces occupying their homeland. Algerian and Tunisian soldiers formed the bulk of the North African Tirailleurs, riflemen. During World War II, men like Ahmed Ben Bella fought for the French army and was decorated for his bravery, even earning the Croix de Guerre and the Médaille Militaire. After the war, his experiences and disillusionment with French rule led him to become a key figure in the Algerian independence movement, co-founding the National Liberation Front, FLN, and later becoming the first president of an independent Algeria. Beyond the front lines, millions more Africans served in silence, carrying supplies, driving trucks, repairing roads, and building airfields from the Congo to Sudan. They kept the armies moving. Without them, the Allied machine might have ground to a halt. When the guns finally fell silent in 1945, Many African soldiers returned home expecting gratitude, but found their service forgotten. Yet their courage planted the seeds of change. Veterans became voices for freedom, fueling the independence movements of the 1950s and 60s. They had fought for liberty abroad, and now they demanded it at home. The story of World War II cannot be told without Africa. These men fought in silence, but their echoes shaped a continent and helped save the world. Thank you for watching the video. Please, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Tell us in the comment section what topic you want us to cover next. See you next time and stay curious.